Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by IronMag Labs. Make your mark. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Tuesday, July 18th, 2017. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Remember back a few years ago when people went crazy making all those vampire movies and TV shows? Well, for the life of me, I can't figure out how we didn't end up with an entire series on Dexter Jackson, because this guy is definitely not human. Now that the Blade is officially in all-out Olympia prep mode, things have really started to heat up down there in Jacksonville. Even now at 48 years old, Dexter still looks like he's finding new ways to get better. And for my money, one of the least shocking things that could happen at this year's Olympia would be to see a red-hot Dexter Jackson come in and blaze his way to another second-place finish. There comes a point in every good contest prep where everything feels like it just is starting to coalesce. And right now, it feels like we're starting to hit that point with Jeremy Buendia. This week, the reigning and defending four-time champ was spotted hammering out a few impromptu mandatories in between sets and looking pretty damn good in the process. Even with all the noise that's been stirred up about potential challenges, the fact remains that Jeremy Buendia is and should continue to be the undisputed champ in the division. And until he starts showing any signs of chinks in the armor, I'd have a hard time not riding with this guy into battle. Very quietly, it's been a sneaky, exciting year so far in the women's physique division. And the late season emergence of Ekaterina Grima had a lot to do with that. After coming out of nowhere to score two huge back-to-back wins at the Dallas Europa Pro and Arctic Pro, Grima is heading into the Olympia with more intrigue than any other competitor in the lineup. Late last week, some new training footage surfaced of a laser-focused looking Grima crushing her latest leg session as she continues to blast away down the back stretch of her first Olympia prep. In the two brief spots we've seen her, Grima has been all sorts of impressive. And if there's one athlete in the women's physique division who might be poised to throw a huge monkey wrench into the top five, right now, I think it has to be her. I've always had a special place in my heart for guys who really pour their hearts and souls into mastering the presentation aspect of the sport. And right now, I don't know of too many guys still competing who've managed to master that art form quite like our old friend Jeff Beckham. After putting together two incredibly solid efforts at the Toronto and New York Pro, one of the true class acts in the sport seems to be getting along just fine these days. Recently, a handful of new progress photos have begun to filter out of the Beckham camp that show the longtime veteran looking about as thick and nasty as we've seen him all season long. To his credit, Beckham has probably been one of the more underrated athletes in the sport over these past few seasons. And if he could ever manage to just get one major win under his belt, I think the entire narrative we've got surrounding this guy is going to change. I don't know exactly how Merriam-Webster is defining the word enigma these days, but somewhere deep inside Joe Weider's bodybuilding dictionary, if you look up the word, you're probably going to find a picture of Michael Lockett sitting squarely right there next to it. A few weeks after putting together what was clearly the best back-to-back stretch of his career at the Chicago and Vancouver Pro, one of the most intriguing athletes in the sport is now headed back to the Olympia for the second straight season. I don't think there's been anyone who's ever doubted the kind of talent that this guy is capable of bringing to the stage. But now that he finally seems to have figured it all out, it's not hard to openly wonder just how high the ceiling on this guy might be.